living organisms are we have the plants and animals. These are organisms where we're going to find life. And in biology, we look at the characteristics we are found in living organisms, which are plants and animals. Now, these organisms have both similarities and differences. Now, in this lesson, we're going to look at the similarities. For example, we have plants and animals which are able to reproduce, to move, to grow, and to excrete. And these systems are found in plants and animals. Now, our main focus in this lesson is on the system of excretion in plants. Talking about excretion in plants and animals, living organisms undergo metabolism. And this metabolism is classified in two classes. Metabolism simply means the chemical reactions which go on in the organism's body. We have two types of metabolic reactions. The first one is known as catabolic reaction. When we say catabolism, this simply means the breakdown of complex large molecules into smaller molecules. For example, glucose is broken down during respiration to produce smaller molecules. An example of catabolism during respiration. The other example of metabolism is anabolism, which you call as the anabolic reaction. Anabolic reactions involve the building up of complex substances. Now we find that in these metabolic reactions, there are always end products, which are not necessarily wanted by the body of that given organism, either a plant or the animal, which are supposed to be taken out of the body. And the removal of the unwanted materials, which you call now as waste substances, is now going to take place from that given organism's body, which you call now as excretion. And therefore, how do we define excretion? We say now excretion is the removal of metabolic waste products from the organism's body. In this case now we are saying that if we're going to remove the waste products of metabolism, either anabolic or catabolic, we are going to have excretion in plants and excretion in animals, since plants and animals are examples of living organisms. We have plants and animals having their systems that are able to excrete or to remove the metabolic wastes which may become toxic or poisonous to the body. Now, as these are going to remove, as plants and animals are going to remove their waste substances, they have developed a system in their bodies. So we are going to have excretion in plants and excretion in animals. Since plants and animals are different, as I said that at the beginning, we begin looking at excretion in animals. We have types of animals. We have what the animals known as single-celled animals. An example of a single-celled animal is called an amoeba. Then we have the second class of animals known as dicellular animals. These animals are made up of two cells, and the example of this family is the protozoa family, or where we classify the bacteria and the viruses. The other class of animals is known as the multicellular animals. The example of a multicellular animal is a human person. So you find that these animals are going to develop a system of organs which are going to function and carry out the function of excretion, the removal of the toxic materials from their bodies. While if they remain in the body, they become toxic or poisonous and may damage the cells. You find that now, the way the single-celled animals, the cellular animals, or the multicellular animals are going to excrete will be different. Why? Because the number of cells determine the system of excretion. When we say single, we mean one cell. When we say dicellular, we mean two cells. When we say multicellular, we mean many cells. In this lesson, we're going to focus on the single-celled and the multicellular animals. The way the dicellular animals excrete is similar to the single-celled animals. So we look at the excretion in the amoeba. As I said, the amoeba is a single-celled animal. And look at the environment. Where do we find this amoeba? The amoeba is found in water. It lives in water. The environment it is found in is water. For example, the stagnant water or the tap water, you find the amoeba living there. This amoeba is a minute living thing. It cannot be seen using naked eyes. You have to have some microscope to view this amoeba living in the water. Remember that the amoeba is an animal cell. It's living in water, and they're simple animal cells. The way we understand the animal cell, having the cell membrane, the nucleus, and the small vacuum. So we have, this is the cell membrane. Then we have this to be the nucleus, and this to be the small vacuum, and this is the cytoplasm. A simple animal cell. As a living cell, it carries its systems of reproduction, of movement, of excretion, of growth and nutrition within its environment, which is the water. So talking about excretion in a single-celled animal like the amoeba, we find that this animal called the amoeba, or the animal cell living in water, is going to have the carbohydrate metabolism. The carbohydrates are found in the water. It is going to get this to produce energy during respiration, and then the products which is coming from this metabolic reaction will give us carbon dioxide as a product. Apart from carbohydrates, the amoeba also finds in its environment the proteins, which will end up being catabolically produce the amino acids. And when these are reacted upon by the enzymes in the amoeba, they produce ammonia. And you find that these are the end products. The carbon dioxide and ammonia are the end products of carbohydrate metabolic reactions and protein synthesis in this amoeba. These are waste products which would not remain in the body or in this cell of the amoeba. They have to be excreted. Now, it's very simple since it's a single cell animal. These are gaseous products. The amoeba is going to excrete these waste products in gaseous form by diffusion. So we say that gaseous products are excreted by diffusion, meaning that the carbon dioxide produced here will diffuse out through the cell membrane. The ammonia produced out will diffuse out by diffusion. Then the amoeba has excreted its gaseous wastes. Now, as you can see, I was just talking about the gaseous wastes in the amoeba, which are the carbon dioxide and ammonia, which will be removed by the process of diffusion. What about the liquid products like excess water? What happens to that? You find that the liquid wastes will be excreted by the contractile vacuoles. The amoeba develops other small vacuoles. If this is the amoeba cell or the animal cell, and this is our major vacuole, there are other small contractile vacuoles which begin to develop. So these are the contractile vacuoles. These vacuoles act as pockets where the liquid wastes are going to be collected. You find now that these, as the liquid wastes accumulate like water, they end up forming a very large contractile vacuole. Where the waste liquids will be collected. And then the nucleus is going to secrete an enzyme which will push the large contractile vacuole to the edge, and then it bursts opens. So the waste which were collected is emptied in the surrounding. Then the pennant vacuole remains there, and then in that process, you find that by emptying the large contractile vacuole, the collected wastes in liquid form are emptied out. Then in that process, or in that way, the amoeba has carried out its excretion process. Remember I said that gaseous wastes are removed by diffusion, while liquid wastes are collected in the contractile vacuoles, which end up developing a large vacuole, which in the end empties or bursts opens to release the wastes. In that way, the amoeba has carried out its process of excretion. It's a simple process in the amoeba. Remember that the amoeba lives in water. This is why water is not completely pure, because of the presence of the amoeba. Remember that we have ammonia, carbon dioxide, and these liquid wastes coming from the amoeba. Therefore, the water is not completely safe to be taken by other organisms like human persons. No wonder water has to be purified at all times. That is the process of excretion in single-celled animals like the amoeba. Also, the cell process takes place in the dicellular animals like the protozoa family. In the other lesson, we'll look at the excretion in large animals like human